Resolution 15-R-26.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayler, second by Councilman Gerhart, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-26 as presented. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhart,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Brusman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fars,
yes,
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Resolution 15-R-27, Mr. McDonald.
Resolution 15R27, a resolution awarding the bid for one replacement command staff vehicle requested by the Division of Fire to Bo Townsend in the amount of $26,484 as the lowest and best bid, and declaring the existing command staff vehicle being replaced surplus property.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, the Fire Department opened bids for a command staff utility vehicle for the fire chief on March 9th. Only one bidder, Bo Townsend Ford, submitted a bid. Bo Townsend bid $26,484 for a 2016 Ford Utility Interceptor vehicle. $35,000 was budgeted for the replacement vehicle, again, which also includes the cost to wrap or decal the vehicle, as well as purchase a radio and emergency response equipment. Again, it will also be necessary to declare the 2000 Ford Expedition that is being replaced as surplus property and approve replacing it either on gov deals or otherwise disposed of by the city manager as provided by law after delivery of the new vehicle.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 15-R-27 as read.
Second.
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Farr, second by Councilman Bressman for the approval of Resolution 15-R-27 as presented. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhart,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Brusman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fars,
Yes,
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Resolution 15-R-28, Mr. McDonald.
Resolution 15R28, a resolution awarding the bid for removal and replacement of certain curbs and sidewalks requested by the Development and Engineering Services to Premier Concrete and Excavating LLC as the lowest and best bid.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Bids for the removal and replacement of curb and gutter, sidewalks, and handicap ramps were opened on March 10th, with 6 contractors submitting bids. The apparent lowest and best bid was received from Premier Concrete and Excavation at a cost of $166,675.50. The 2015 budget includes $160,000 for curb and sidewalks, as well as $400,000 for street resurfacing. Quantities will be adjusted once the resurfacing bids are received for the street resurfacing project.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 15-R-28 as read. Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Bressman, second by Councilman Gerhart, that we do approve Resolutions 15-R-28 as read. Are there any comments or questions? Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Brusman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhart,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fars,
yes,
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Resolution 15-R-29, Mr. McDonald, by title only, please.
Resolution 15R29, a resolution awarding the bid for asphalt concrete requested by the Public Works Department to Valley Asphalt Corp. In the amount of $66 a ton for Type 2 and $67 a ton for Type 1, for a total not to exceed $39,900 as the lowest and best bid.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, bids for asphalt concrete were opened on March 3rd, with Valley Asphalt submitting the lowest and best bid. The bid is to purchase asphalt on an as-needed basis for the Public Works and the Golf Departments. Public Works has budgeted $30,000 in the Permissive Motor Vehicle License Fund for the purchase of asphalt to be used for minor street repairs, pothole repairs, and water main break repairs. The Golf Department has budgeted $15,000 in the Capital Improvement Fund to be used for cart path resurfacing and repairs.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 15-R-29.
Do I have a second? Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Ehlers, second by Councilman Bressman, to approve Resolution 15-R-29. Are there any comments or questions about this resolution? Seeing none, would you please?
Well, I have a quick
I'm
question.
sorry.
Just
Yeah.
Dave, Mr. Brusman?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the price? you're closer to it than,
I think that's what you would expect. It's probably a little bit discounted. That's probably what you'd expect for somebody who's not buying a whole bunch in bulk and just coming in and getting a truckload here and there. So I'd like to see it better, but I don't think we can expect much better than that.
all right. Fine.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you. Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Brusman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Fires,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Resolution 15-R-30, Mr. McDonald.
Resolution 15R30, a resolution waiving formal bidding and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Christie's Family Pizzeria for Castle Hills Pool concessions.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Parks and Recreation Department received proposals for concession operations at Castle Hills Pool on February 13th. Christie's Family Pizzeria submitted the loan proposal. Christie's proposal was for a one-year agreement with an option for an additional year and includes the following. Christie's agrees to pay the city $1,500 for the use of the concession stand and equipment. In addition, Christie's agrees to sponsor one youth sports team in 2015 in each of the following sports, baseball, softball, soccer, and basketball at a cost of about $600. All menu items and pricing shall be mutually agreed upon, and Christie's is to submit year-end financial reports showing gross receipts and gross income. The city's obligation under this proposal are to provide Christie's the use of the existing concession equipment. Christie's is responsible to replace any failed equipment due to negligence. The city is responsible for preseason preparation, normal wear and tear maintenance, and postseason preparation of equipment. To promptly communicate any closing or schedule changes of the pool, and to pay water, sewer, and electric associated with the operation of the concession stand.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, move that we approve Resolution 15R-30 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis, second by Vice Mayor Fars, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-30 as presented. Are there any comments or questions?
Well, I'd just like to comment that I think this is a good resolution to a standing problem we've had for about the last 2 or 3 years with providing refreshments to the Castle Hills area. So I commend Steve Clark and his staff for working this, and I hope it works.
And under this proposal, again, patrons are still permitted to bring in their own food and drinks to the pool, so that doesn't limit their ability to do that.
Anyone else? Seeing none, will you call the roll?
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes,
Councilmember Brusman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fars,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. We have one ordinance this evening in its first reading, and that's 15-06. Mr. McDonald.
Ordinance 1506, an ordinance to revise appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Vandalia, Montgomery County, Ohio, during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2015, and amending Ordinance 14-34.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this ordinance would amend 2015 appropriations as follows. An additional $104,100 in the general fund, and that's to account for additional funds necessary for Phase 5 of the streetscape project. These funds will be transferred from the general fund to the capital improvement fund. The city is responsible for 61% of the project cost, with ODOT paying the other 31%. The city appropriated $400,000 in the 2015 budget based upon Choice One Engineering's estimate. However, ODOT's central office recently revised their estimates, necessitating the additional funds. An additional $650,000 in the Employee Retirement Reserve Fund, and this is to account for a 27th pay in 2015 that was not anticipated when the budget was prepared. An additional $104,100 in the Capital Improvement Fund, and this is to account for the additional funds necessary for the Streetscape Phase 5 project. In the Police, Fire, and Street CIP Fund, an additional $5,900, and this is to appropriate funds for the design of the Fieldstone Way Extension project. In the Street Fund, an additional $46,500, and this is to appropriate funds for the replacement of damaged guardrails and light or mast arm poles due to automobile accidents. The city is reimbursed by private insurers for insured motorist accidents and by the city's insurance company, Maverma, for uninsured motorist accidents. An additional $3,500 in the Street Fund as well for consultant services related to an audit of the license and permissive motor vehicle taxes on cars and semi-trailers. or semi-tractors. Again, the purpose of the audit was to identify vehicles that were registered to the wrong jurisdiction. The audit resulted in the city receiving a net of approximately $74,000 in unanticipated revenue for 2013 registrations and nearly $48,000 for 2014 registrations.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve ordinance 15-06 in its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis, second by Councilman Bressman, that we do approve ordinance 15-06 in its first reading. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Bressman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fars,
Yes.
Mayor Stetzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. We have no ordinances in their second reading, nor do we have any emergency ordinances, and that brings us to the reports from our boards and commissions. The Public Art and Vandalia Committee minutes of February the 17th, and the Vandalia Cultural Arts Committee minutes of February the 17th. Do you have any questions about either of those? Seeing none, we'll go on to council comments, starting with Mr. McDonald. Mr. Cruzy.
Just one item. I'd just like to welcome Amber Holloway, our new city planner, to her first Vandalia City Council meeting.
Welcome, Amber. Thank you. Is that it?
That is all I have.
Okay, well, where do I start? Well, let's just start with Mr. Lewis.
I have no comments other than to ask to excuse Mike Blakesley from the council meeting.
That is a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis and second by Vice Mayor Faris that we excuse Councilman Blakesley from this council meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that's it then?
I got one passed. Go ahead.
Okay. Councilman Gerhard?
No comments tonight.
Councilman Ayers?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Councilman Bressman?
Yeah, one comment. I do want to thank everybody who showed up talking about the rail spur, what's going on with the county. There's some emotions there, and there should be. And it's a little frustrating on our side because we feel like we have our hands tied and there's not a whole bunch we can do. But I do want to say that I can recall that it's been a while ago, but I guess I need to speak up? Okay. I recall we had plans to punch Brown School Road, North Brown School, all the way through to Kroger's. And we had a packed crowd, and it was not favorable at all. And with that, we listened to the people, and it was stopped. And it was because we got it loud and clear that basically it was not in the best interest of that neighborhood. And so, we do listen to the people, and we do react to what they want. I just think that we get a lot of it in here, and I don't know. I'm wondering if it could be maybe better directed. And because of that, I'm not pushing it off on you. I would be more than happy to go to a couple county commissioner meetings if that's who we need to talk to. So I guess I'll coordinate things, and maybe some other council members would want to go too. I quickly got on my phone, and they meet every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. And while I'm working at that time, I can't make all those meetings, but I could show up to a couple. And my concern is that we've got a group of people who don't know a whole bunch, and it sure would be nice to communicate with the residents, and it's the residents of Butler Township, it's Vandalia, it's whoever's concerned about this. We need more information. So while I go back to it feels like we don't have a bunch we can do, I think that I'll volunteer that, and I'm sure others might too, just to go in there. And I'm not the type that's going to yell and rant and rave, but I will express my opinion for sure. So If that'll help out, then I'd surely like to do that for you guys, okay? That's all.
Okay.